You're talking about Abrego Garcia, is that the one? Yeah. Is an illegal alien MS-13 gang member and foreign terrorist. This comes out of the State Department and very legitimate sources. Garcia was a member of MS-13. When Garcia was originally arrested, he was wearing a sweatshirt with rolls of money pouring out, an MS-13 gang symbol that he was driving with two other known violent MS-13 gang members.
A violent prison attack in Virginia has left multiple officers injured, allegedly by MS-13 gang members. The stabbing took place at Wallens Ridge State Prison, involving 6 inmates in a coordinated assault. 5 of the 6 attackers are reportedly illegal immigrants and convicted members of the El Salvadoran gang, MS-13. Virginia's prison director said the gang members should never have been in the country in the first place. 3 correctional officers were stabbed, while 2 others were injured while trying to stop the gang attack. The 5 gang members were all convicted of violent crimes, including murder and rape. Remember, the MS-13 gang has long been a focus of U.S. immigration crackdowns due to its violent criminal reputation. The stabbing comes as controversy builds over the deportation of alleged MS-13 member Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Garcia was deported to El Salvador despite an immigration judge granting him protection from removal. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement sent Garcia to El Salvador's notorious C-Cote mega prison before he was transferred to a lower security site. The Trump administration has resisted court orders to return Garcia, citing national security and gang concerns.
They have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad. If you would go into the room, you might, if you would, Carolyn, maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. I don't know why you'd want to keep them, but I just got a little biography of him.
Did you help set up that
Not
meeting?
not a very innocent guy.
Did you help set up that
on
meeting,
IRS?
sir?
Mr. President,
On that,
in the spirit of Easter Sunday and it being
Well, we're on
Good
the
Friday,
subject, right?
yes, of course.
So you're talking about Abrego Garcia, is that the one? Yeah. Is an illegal alien MS-13 gang member and foreign terrorist. This comes out of the State Department and very legitimate sources. I mean, I assume I'm just giving you what they handed to me, but this was supposed to be certified stuff. In 2019, Garcia was issued a deportation order. 2 separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13, which is a gang that may be even worse than Trendy or Rockwell. It may be worse. They kill people with knives because it's more painful. Very famous for the knifing and killing of 2 young 16-year-old girls walking to school one day, and they sliced them up into little pieces and killed them. That's MS-13. And 2 separate judges affirmed Garcia was a member of MS-13. When Garcia was originally arrested, he was wearing a sweatshirt with rolls of money pouring out, an MS-13 gang symbol that he was driving with 2 other known violent MS-13 gang members, 2 of the most violent members that we know of in the MS-13 gang of thugs. In 2022, Garcia was stopped by the Tennessee Highway Patrol, who was found to be transporting 7 people from Texas to Maryland, and he had no driver's license. He was driving violently. In 2020 and 2021, Garcia's wife filed for a protective order from him and said he was violent and abusive and really scary, including allegations that he punched and scratched her on the eye, left her bleeding after throwing her laptop on the floor at her, ripped her shirt, and ripped off her shorts. He then grabbed her arm, leaving very severe marks. Garcia's wife also wrote in court, "At this point, I am afraid to be close to him. I just don't want to be close. I have multiple photos and videos how violent he can be and all of the bruises that he's left on me." She just couldn't get anywhere near him. This is the man that the Democrats are wanting us to fly back from El Salvador to be a happily ensconced member of the USA family. Isn't it a shame? And by the way, I've been hit pretty hard by fake shows, fake news, MSDNC in particular. where they talk about how evil I am, that this man would be thrown out of our country. This man is according to certified statements that we get, is a very violent person. And they want this man to be brought back into our country where he can be free and to stay as a happily Maryland, they call him the Maryland man. He's a Maryland father. No, he's a violent person.
Well, it was an administrative error as to why he was deported. And he is a known gang member. ICE testified he was a gang member, and we believe he should stay where he is. You know, the defense had argued that he was, a journeyman, that he was training to be an electrician. While the last gang member we arrested, who was a violent murderer, was also hanging wallpaper in a place called the Villages in Florida, one of the biggest retirement places in our country. So these people are living among us. One of the big cases we had, I think you're very aware of, half an hour from where we're standing, was another violent gang member living right among us in a very, very nice residential neighborhood. Wreaths on the door next door to him, children's bicycles. So that's what these gangs do. They infiltrate our country and they live among us. So to say that he was training to be an electrician does not legitimize him from being a violent gang member. And we will continue to fight for the safety of Americans and get these people out of our country to make America safe. Every victim of crime deserves to be safe.
We removed an MS-13 gang member, public safety threat, wife beater, designated terrorist from the United States. He's home. He's a citizen of El Salvador, a native El Salvador, who had due process, despite what you're hearing, been ordered removed by 2 separate immigration judges. The best that could happen for him, if he actually gave back to the United States, he would be detained and removed again, because he has an order of deportation. And what people don't talk about, the withholding order they keep saying was a mistake or oversight, was issued years ago under different circumstances. The gang he was afraid would attack him no longer exists. The country of El Salvador is a much safer country because of the actions of President Bukele. I don't think any court can order another nation, a sovereign nation, to take a citizen and national from their country in their custody and give them back to the U.S. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'll let DOJ argue this in court. But I think we removed the public safety threat, gang member, designated terrorist from the United States who have been ordered deported twice by a federal judge. I think I got plenty of due process.